Hi students, I'm reminding you about the steps that you need in order to make a podcast on GarageBand. So you can see on my screen I have the GarageBand app open, and I'm going to go ahead and click on New Project and Podcast. When you have a chance to title your podcast, I want you to go ahead and use your first name, last name, and then the block that you're in, and then PIP. You can save it anywhere on your computer. This is just the template through GarageBand that you will be using. You'll have to export it into an MP3 later. Don't mess with any of the rest of the buttons and then hit Create. Okay, this is the main screen that you should use to create your podcast. The next thing I want to make sure that you know is that on the track list up in this corner, it may be down here, you don't have to use the podcast track. You just ignore it completely. And actually you don't need the male and female voice either. So you can delete one or you can click on whichever one you are. So I'll click on female voice. And that's the only track that you technically have to use while you're recording. If you want to introduce your podcast with a small piece of music, some sort of introduction, besides just your name, you can choose one of GarageBand's free jingles that they've created for you. So what you would do would be to go into this button down here, the bottom right of your screen, your loops. Okay, go to audio. I'm sorry, there you go. It'll switch over to loops, and then you can click on jingles, and it will show you a list of a lot of jingles that you can use. You don't have to do this, but this, if your podcast seems empty in the beginning or awkward to start, you could put in something small. Let's see, I could choose, this is a 12-minute clip. I would recommend do not make it last any more than 10 seconds. 12 would be maybe the maximum. So I would click on it, drag it over to my jingles at the start of my podcast, and just drop it in there.